A central figure in the sex scandal involving President Clinton speaks out. Up next on News Channel 5 at noon, we'll have a live report and tell you what Linda Tripp had to say. Students come to the rescue for victims of an apartment fire in Euclid. And we'll have an update on the baby girl who was stolen from a hospital just hours after she was born. News Channel 5 at noon is next.
Public notice, 3 days only, $10 million furniture and bedding liquidation. Get a three-piece furniture set including sofa, love seat, and chair for only $148. That's right, $148. Get a bedroom set for only $148. Your choice, recliner, dinette, or bunk bed, just $99. Mattress sets, only $18 each piece. Free layaway until your income tax refund and same-day delivery guaranteed. 6 locations, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, and Youngstown. Mattress and Furniture Liquidators, Mattress and Furniture Liquidators, Mattress and Furniture Liquidators.
The News Channel 5 investigators. A team of lawyers and journalists working for you. Free of charge. Digging deeper. Getting answers. Exposing fraud. Saving you money. Bill Shield. Tom Merriman. Ted Hunt. Brian McIntyre. On your side. Working for you. The News Channel 5 investigators. They're Ohio's most watched weather team for a reason. And they're only on News Channel 5. Now, from Ohio's most watched news team, this is News Channel 5 at noon.
Linda Tripp, one of the key figures in the sex scandal involving President Clinton, is telling her side of the story. Good afternoon. I'm Amy Hasten, in for Lee Jordan.
And I'm Roy Weissinger. A statement from Tripp was released by her attorney this morning. Tripp says last November, while she was staying at Lewinsky's Watergate apartment, Lewinsky got a call at about 2 in the morning. And according to Tripp, Lewinsky told her it was the president on the phone. In her statement, Tripp also said that she'd heard several of her tapes with the president and had seen several of the gifts that Lewinsky and the president allegedly exchanged. Tripp says she has no political agenda, and she went to the independent counsel Kenneth Starr to talk to him because she felt crimes had been committed. ABC's Lauren Rogers is in Washington covering all this. She has the latest now. Lauren?
The White House is working hard to project an image of business as usual. The president this morning hosting a group of mayors from around the country. Mr. Clinton talked about inner-city crime, patrolling the border, and education. He did not mention the daily drumbeat of allegations surrounding the Monica Lewinsky matter. And if recent polls are any indication, the American people don't expect him to. The White House has been cheered by new surveys indicating Mr. Clinton's job approval ratings remain high. Press Secretary Mike McCurry says those polls are a testament to the American public's common sense, a sentiment echoed from an unexpected corner.
Quite frankly, I find it rather disgusting. And I hope that you folks in the media might just slow down a little bit on this particular situation.
At the same time, one of the women at the center of this controversy has issued a statement. Linda Tripp defended Monica Lewinsky, describing her as a bright young woman who made poor choices. She said Monica was not a stalker. She was invited. She did not embellish. The truth is sensational enough. I firmly believe the truth will be her friend as the facts come to life. Getting to those facts may be made easier as a result of a ruling in the Paula Jones case. The judge agreeing with independent counsel Kenneth Starr that the discovery process in the case is interfering with his investigation.
So we were the moving party seeking to protect the integrity of the investigation, so we were pleased by the ruling.
Also encouraged by the ruling, Monica Lewinsky's attorney.
I think it's a very positive result for Ms. Lewinsky as well as the president, and I'm very pleased.
William Ginsburg, Lewinsky's attorney, is still hoping to convince independent counsel Kenneth Starr to grant his client immunity from prosecution in exchange for her testimony against the president. Those talks are reported to be at an impasse. They are, however, still continuing. Live in Washington, I'm Lauren Rogers. Now back to you.
The United States and Russia sharply disagreed today on what to do about Iraq's resistance to UN weapons inspection. After winning some new support from the French a day earlier, Secretary of State Madeleine Albright encountered resistance from the Russians as she continues her visit through Europe.
Today, Foreign Minister Primakov and I agreed that Iraq must end its obstruction of UNSCOM's weapons inspections. All options are open, but we prefer a diplomatic route. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're a little bit more patient, you know.
Meanwhile, Germany and Sweden have expressed what is being called cautious support today for U.S. threats of a military strike against Iraq.
There are reports that a man wearing a wig ran from the scene of the abortion clinic bombing yesterday in Birmingham, Alabama. The bombing killed an off-duty policeman and injured another person. The man may have removed his wig as he ran and dropped it into a blue bag. Police will only say they're questioning a number of witnesses.
The device was not a large, extremely large device designed to damage property. I would describe it more as a smaller device that was designed to kill or injure.
It's the first fatal bombing at an abortion clinic in U.S. history.
It's an unexpected day off for hundreds of students at St. Barnabas School in Northfield. The school is trying to get the upper hand on an outbreak of head lice. The condition isn't dangerous, but it is very contagious. When school resumes next week, students and teachers will all be examined before they will be allowed to return to class.
And remember the fire at the Euclid Villa Apartments a few weeks ago, the one that killed one person and left dozens of people homeless? Well, the Euclid school system is trying to help those folks out. The schools have gathered up a truckload of items collected from students and staff in the district. And this morning they presented the items to the manager of Euclid Villa. Several dozen students and staff from the schools and the Euclid district were there for the presentation.
Paramedics found no pulses on 3 bodies from a car wreck in Youngstown yesterday and covered them with a coroner's blanket. Then about 20 minutes later, one of the bodies began to stir under its blanket. This time, paramedics found a pulse. Paramedics at Rural Metro Ambulance say the victim lost quite a bit of blood, and the pulse may have been so faint that initially it was undetectable. Sadly, we have just learned that the man eventually died 14 hours following the accident.
The Ford Motor Company is recalling nearly 800,000 vehicles, including 500,000 cars that may have faulty headlights. Now, the recall involves about 545,000 1993 and 94 Ford Taurus, Mercury Sable sedans, Lincoln Mark 8, and Continental luxury coupes. An additional 187,000 1991 through 93 Ford Explorers are being recalled because of problems with sunroofs. The automaker says if improperly installed, sunroofs may fly off a moving vehicle.
After a 5-day rendezvous with the Russian space station Mir, the space shuttle Endeavour is heading back to Earth. The 2 spacecrafts undocked Thursday. Endeavour left behind U.S. astronaut Andrew Thomas, who will spend the next 4.5 months aboard Mir. Thomas replaces astronaut David Wolf. Wolf is due back on Earth with the rest of the Endeavour crew tomorrow.
And forget the crocus is blooming or the robins arriving. There's another ritual that means spring can't be far away. The Cleveland Indians equipment truck is departing from Jacobs Field for the tribe's spring training home in Winter Haven, Florida. Clubhouse manager Ted Walsh was a busy man this morning, making sure he had not only the bats and the balls and the gloves and the bases and the countless other things to play ball with, but all the little extras the players and staff want in Florida.
Basically, we've got 2 trucks, 2 53-foot trucks from American Van and Storage that we have one for Major League equipment and one for minor league equipment. And each truck contains about 20,000 pounds of equipment.
And half of that is gum, I'll bet. We'll have more on what's actually in the truck later on News Channel 5.
And that sure is a sign of spring, and another sign of spring, a smile on meteorologist Mark Johnson's face. Mark, the pressure is on, the weekend's ahead, and we're hoping it's a nice one.
Amy, I think the weekend's going to be A-OK. For now, though, we're dealing with a seasonal Friday out there. Temperatures right around where they should be in the low 30s. And we do have some pesky snow that just won't give up. Let's take a look at radar now. Indeed, remember earlier this morning on Good Morning Cleveland, I told you that area of snow in Michigan was most likely going to fade away. Well, it is fading away, but not fast enough, unfortunately. As it moves through northern Ohio, we will continue to see scattered snow showers this afternoon, with some accumulations ranging from a dusting to perhaps an inch. In the snow belt, maybe a little bit more. So it will be a wintry day today, but wait till you see the weekend. It's warming back up into the spring-like levels. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mark. Here's a look at what we're working on for later today on Live on 5. A first-of-its-kind movie channel hopes to make its mark in Northeast Ohio. Cell phone company executives are thinking of making a change that could greatly impact how much consumers pay for the calls they receive. And why do some people go bald? There's a question for you. We'll explain some new findings, how they may pave the way to new treatments. Join us for those stories and more today on Live on 5. Still ahead on News Channel 5 at noon, the baby who was stolen from a hospital has been safely returned to her family. We'll tell you how police caught up with the suspects.
And a pizza delivery man is now being called a hero. That story and much more when the News at Noon returns. Stay with us.
From Ohio's most watched weather team, get the accurate forecast 24 hours a day. Just call Weather First at 931-1212. Only from News Channel 5.
The fine furniture you want, the savings you deserve. Find it all during the $99 sale at Value City Furniture. For 3 days only, pay just $99 for this exquisite queen-size wrought iron canopy bed with rails. Just $99 for a modern black finish entertainment center. Or pay only $99 for this oak finish computer desk with matching rollaway printer stand. And there's much more right now during the fabulous $99 sale at Value City Furniture. Don't miss it.
This weekend, the 1998 Cycle World International Motorcycle Show comes to the IX Center with virtually all the 1998 motorcycles, ATVs, and personal watercraft. Plus, on sale, helmets, street and dirt, leather jackets, motocross gear, tires, and more. And exciting live shows on stage at the factory. The Cycle World $1 Million Museum. This is the big one, with virtually all the manufacturers showcasing their 98 model lineup in huge factory displays. And all features are included with your admission. This weekend, the 1998 Cycle World Ohio International Motorcycle Show at the IX Center.
Ohio's most watched news team has a new set of eyes. News Jobber 5 with Sky Vision. A newsroom with a view.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Hooley.
And I'm Amy Hasten.
Make sure you tune in at 5:30 for News Channel 5 this morning. We'll give you the first look at all the weather that you need from Mark Johnson and our top stories, too.
And stay tuned for Good Morning Cleveland at 6 o'clock. Starting Monday, we'll show you how kickboxing can help you stay fit.
Yeah, it can help reduce stress, keep your husband aligned as well, right?
Plus summer swimsuits. Join us for all that, plus news, weather, and traffic.
See you at 5:30.
Now, from the most watched news team in Ohio, this is News Channel 5 at noon.
11 hours after a baby was stolen from a Kansas City hospital, the newborn is found and suspects are in custody.
The man and woman accused of taking the baby girl were caught at the home of one of their relatives near St. Louis. 30-year-old Buddy Hall and 18-year-old Amanda Tall are being held on kidnapping charges. Officials say they are the couple who was caught on videotape leaving the hospital yesterday with the newborn. The child has been returned to Kansas City and reunited with her family.
The last 24 hours of hell, and now it's over, and we're happy. I hope that the judicial system puts you through the hell you have put our family through and my little sister for all the unnecessary. This was torture and cruelty. My family didn't deserve it, and you deserve to be punished in the fullest, and my family will be there to make sure it happens.
The baby, identified only as Carly, is listed in good condition.
The discovery of 4 suspected mail bombs has officials in the college town of Gainesville, Florida on alert. The packages were mailed to the police department, the sheriff's office, and the highway patrol in Gainesville. The one that was delivered to the highway patrol was in a plastic bag because it had been damaged by the postal service. The devices were rendered harmless, and now investigators are trying to find out why somebody would do this.
This is the act of someone who has a twisted mind, perhaps. Whoever manufactured them, if they are not explosive devices, wanted everyone to believe they are explosive devices.
Security at all law enforcement agencies around Gainesville have been beefed up, and police agencies throughout the state of Florida have been warned to watch their mail.
Lorena Bobbitt, the woman who became well known after cutting off her husband's private parts, is back in the news. Bobbitt, now known as Lorena Gallo since her divorce from John Bobbitt in 1995, is being prosecuted for allegedly hitting her mother. The judge says she has a history of attacking family members. A trial date is set for April 2nd. If convicted, Bobbitt could face up to 1 year in jail.
And even superstars and their families can wind up behind bars in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Bobby Brown, the husband of singer and actress Whitney Houston, is off to jail. He was convicted of drunken driving and sentenced to 5 days in jail in Fort Lauderdale for a traffic accident that happened in August of 1996. Bobby Brown's wife was in the courtroom when the guilty verdict was handed down and the sentence was read.
A pizza delivery man is being called a hero after he saved 2 girls from carbon monoxide poisoning. It happened in Clifton Park, New York. Lewis Murphy, who is also a volunteer firefighter, delivered 2 pizzas to 2 teenage girls. Lewis says he smelled fumes and asked the girls about it. They told him they didn't smell anything. Lewis went ahead and called 911 from his cell phone. Firefighters say Lewis saved the girls from CO poisoning that was caused by a faulty furnace.
Good for him.
What's ahead weather-wise for our weekend?
Well, we don't know, but Mark does. And he joins us next with a look at our forecast. Stay with us.
In children's bedroom furniture, one name above all others spells value: Stanley. Young America by Stanley grows up with your kids. So why buy your children's bedroom furniture 2, 3, 4 times when Young America is durable enough to last a lifetime? A place to study, to store, to sleep. And Fish Furniture has it for less. Nursery to teens to new apartment. The Fish Furniture as easy as ABC sales saves you more. ABCs to MBAs. Young America grows up with you.
Carry the card that lets you carry on with life. From Medical Mutual of Ohio.
Ain't no fooling around with this. Ain't no fooling around with that. I've been cooking for a long, long time, and this is where it's at. Oh,
For a side dish this creamy, make the change to Velveeta shells and cheese.
there's gonna be a change on the table.
And introducing Velveeta Creamy Herb and Garlic, a blend of garlic and herbs in a creamy new side dish.
What's even greener than the Emerald Isle?
Cleveland in February?
News Channel 5 presents the National City Cleveland Home and Garden Show. Visit the spectacular celebrity gardens of News Channel 5's Fred Griffith, Amy Hasten, and Jim Hooley. Plus, get the answers to your gardening questions at News Channel 5's Horticultural Information Center. So make your winter bloom. News Channel 5 presents the National City Cleveland Home and Garden Show, beginning Saturday, February 7th.
Well, maybe we won't have to go inside this weekend to look for flowers and
Absolutely.
things.
Maybe we'll go outside, a little crocus growing out there.
Yeah.
You know, I was on the internet yesterday, and you know somebody's actually blaming the Clinton sex scandal on El Nino.
Interesting.
Let's go to Tower Cam 5.
I think you're serious.
I am. It was on the internet. It was on one of those chat pages.
Oh, well, then you know it's
I
true.
would make
By
that
tonight,
up.
it'll be fact.
It's true. I hope not. It's too crazy out there. Let's take a look at weather. Let's do something we can handle, all right? We have clouds out there. I have seen a little tiny peak of blue skies. Now, I saw that on the internet. Nobody go to the phone and call me and blame me for that, because it's not my fault. All right. We are seeing a few tiny, tiny peaks of sun. We got a lot of clouds as we scan the skies, and indeed a few scattered snow flurries left over. Let's look now at our radar. Notice Instant 5 Doppler radar not really showing a lot of anything. Just some scattered light snow flurries in amongst the ground clutter. We've got a few more flurries off to our northwest coming out over Detroit into the Lake Erie vicinity, and then those will travel over us. Now there is a possibility a couple of spots out there in the viewing area could receive total from last night and today an inch, maybe a little bit more, but look at it. There's really not a lot out there. You may see a little snow streak develop in the snow belt, and they may get a little accumulation, but for the rest of us, I would expect very light accumulations today. 34 in Cleveland, 31 Mansfield, 30 Akron, Canton, 32 in Youngstown. We've pretty much gone as high as we're going to go temperature-wise. A nice flow out of the northwest will keep the chilly air over us. Lake water still at 37 degrees. No ice on the lake, folks. There have been years when the lake has not frozen. We're a day away from February, and still lake water at 37. That's well above normal for this time of year. 34 degrees at Hopkins Airport. Humidity is 76%. Notice those wind chills in the mid-teens, so definitely bundle up if you're headed out today. Our low this morning, 30 degrees. We averaged 32 and 17 on this date. Last year, 35 and 18. We've been as cold as 4 degrees below zero in 1873, I should say, and as warm as 62 degrees back in 1916 for the month. Almost 5 inches of snow, folks. That's not a lot. That's less than half the amount that we normally would receive in January. We average about a foot of snow in January, so definitely below normal in the snowfall department. Typical of El Nino. You hear that a lot. Satellite map, you saw it. A few snowflakes and rain showers out in the Rocky Mountains, southern mountains, I should say. We got a little leftover snow here in northeastern Ohio, north central Ohio. Low pressure system stirring up some scattered showers along the east coast. Here's what's going to happen. High pressure will move in and take control of our weather. Start to dry us out tonight, maybe bring us some clear patches. You may see a few stars. Tomorrow, we will see some sunshine. Clouds will mix in. And Sunday, definitely some sunshine as well. This system may move in Sunday late in the day into the overnight, may stir up more clouds and scattered showers Sunday night into Monday, but the weekend all in all should be dry and very pleasant. Lots of clouds today, scattered snow, isolated amounts of an inch, a few of you maybe a little bit more in the snow belt. Our high 25 degrees, no, our high 34. Where'd 25 come from? Who's been messing with the computer? 34 for a high today. Claudia's been doing it. Mostly cloudy tonight. Flurries ending. There's your low, down to 25 degrees. Here's the 5-day. Tomorrow, indeed, mid and upper 30s with sun. Sunday, even warmer, into the low and mid 40s. And then Monday and Tuesday, mid 40s with rain showers both days. But warming back up. More springtime on the way.
Now, I blame El Nino for that.
For what? The weather forecast?
What you just
I
said.
think so, too. I think I should go back to the internet in that chat guy and tell him he's crazy.
Yeah.
Or someone
You
is.
can't blame El Nino for everything.
Not
That's
everything.
the moral of the
Get
story.
blamed for enough already.
That's right.
When the news at noon returns.
Dr. Ted Castele joins us live to talk about the latest in AIDS research. We'll be right back.
Public notice, 3 days only, $10 million furniture and bedding liquidation. Get a 3-piece furniture set including sofa, love seat, and chair for only $148. That's right, $148. Get a bedroom set for only $148. Your choice, recliner, dinette, or bunk bed, just $99. Mattress sets, only $18 each piece. Free layaway until your income tax refund and same-day delivery guaranteed. 6 locations, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, and Youngstown. Mattress and Furniture Liquidators, Mattress and Furniture Liquidators, Mattress and Furniture Liquidators.
Imagine waking up and being able to see the clock without your glasses. With a painless procedure using the Excimer laser, the Fairview Eye and Laser Center can make this happen for you. See the difference the Fairview Eye and Laser Center can make for you. For great food, drinks, and fun, visit the Tap Bar and Grill, famous for their half-pound gourmet hamburgers, gyro sandwiches, and buffalo wings. Happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. daily at all 3 Tap Bar and Grill locations.
Weiss's biggest and best consolidation sale is on now through Sunday at the IX Center. Weiss has consolidated over 3,000 furs, leathers, winter cloth coats, and fur accessories to the IX Center. Save to 75% and even more. Sculptured mink coats, $8.99. Beaver coats, $12.99. Regal mink coats, $19.99. Designer furs up to 65% off. Women's leathers, men's furs and leathers, all at savings to 75%. Precious wool coats, cashmeres, and camel hair coats, all at great savings to 75%. At Weiss's consolidation sale at the IX Center through Sunday only.
Your wheels? Not a car. Your pet? Not a dog. And your drink? Not coffee. You're into tea. You break the rules. Now so has General Foods International Teas. It's a sweet, creamy tea without a bag. So indulgently rich. Your wedding dress? Not white. Your daughter? Definitely not an Ashley. And your tea? New General Foods International Teas.
Finally, tea that's a bit like me.
Something new for your TV today, live on 5.
Welcome back to the Noon News. I'm Dr. Ted Castele at the AIDS Research Center on the campus of Case Western Reserve University in the medical school. And we've been invited here by the director of the AIDS Research Center, Dr. Stuart Legreese. Thank you for inviting us, Stuart. We're very pleased to be here. You're doing all kinds of research in AIDS. Tell us a bit about what the center itself is doing.
Certainly. The center was funded in 1994, and its major goal is actually to try and coordinate the basic research and clinical activities at CWRU. We actually have about $12 million of federal funding through 40 programs.
Your center is one of only 12 in the country, I believe.
That's correct. We have 12 centers based primarily on the West and East Coast, and we're one of 2 in the Midwest.
And we're hoping that you're doing great work here. I know you yourself personally are working on some of these projects. Tell us about your own project there.
These are actually bacteria that we use to make large amounts of proteins that we transplant from HIV. In actual fact, these proteins are some of the main targets of antiviral drugs.
Now, is this dangerous? Is it sitting there right now?
No, this is not dangerous. The proteins, once we take them out of the virus and put them in bacteria, are no longer dangerous.
So the bacteria are actually growing. They're the factories that are making
the bacteria are now the new host for the protein of the virus. We study this in the laboratory. We use this information to help design new drugs.
What is this device right here? How does that figure into all this?
This is just a relatively simple device. The proteins are currently in the virus, in the bacterium. We have to get them out of the bacterium and purify them. And this is a very simple device for purifying the proteins of HIV.
This really is a fascinating thing. Now, what do you think in terms of how long is it going to be till we have additional new medications? We have some new medications right now, but when are we going to have something else?
Well, I think we have a variety of new drugs currently in clinical trials. I don't think there is any one drug at the moment that is the answer to HIV. The most important thing is to constantly have a variety of new drugs targeted against various HIV enzymes. At the moment, the current drugs are working very effectively in reducing the viral load in the body. They're increasing the quality of life of HIV patients. So I think we have enough to be happy about at the moment.
Now, once you learn more about AIDS, will that information help you in cancer and other types of research?
Certainly. I think everything we're doing here is basic research. We apply it at the moment to HIV. We can apply it to other viruses. We can apply it to other diseases. But the common thread to all of this is basic research.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much for allowing us to come into your lab today. You're doing great work, and we're going to hear more about this later. We also have our web page. If you'd like to look at our web page and give us a little call on that, Metis, www.cwru.edu/Dr. Ted. And now, Roy and Amy, back to you.
Okay, Doctor, thank you.
Still ahead on the news at noon.
Old music puts a new spin on real estate. Details when we come back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seamen Furniture.
Early morning reunions, candlelight for two, new beginnings, and old friends. Seamen's Furniture is designed and priced with you in mind. From contemporary to classic, leather to lacquer, natural woods to deep cherry, Seamen's Furniture has what you want. So relax on furniture designed for comfortable lifestyles. From Seamen's. Right now, Seamen's payment option is as comfortable as our furniture. No down payment, no payments, and no interest for 1 full year. Get extra savings store-wide and delivery in a week.
Seamen's Best. It was one of those like out-of-body
Tina, off the phone.
Crazy.
Tacos.
I was going out with Joel. I know.
Taco Bell.
And I was so embarrassed for her. She was saying things like, what kind of music do you listen to? Granted, it's one of those
That
things.
irresistible Taco Bell taste you crave.
Stuff everywhere.
Now you can make it right at home with Taco Bell Home Originals.
There, the really, really bad perm, I know.
Taco Bell Home Originals. The crunch you crave.
Cleveland wakes up and goes to work with Soft Rock 102.1 WDOK with Trapper Jack, Robin, and Jim.
Good morning, Cleveland. This morning show is entertaining and not offensive. It's our job to get you to your job in a good mood. Listen to 102 while you work for long sets of continuous soft rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Trapper Jack in the morning, continuous soft rock all day. 102.1 WDOK.
Monday through Friday, he takes on consumer problems and questions. Call 431-HELP and he could help you. 5 Consumer Reports, 5 nights a week, only on News Channel 5 at 6.
There's much more coming up later today on News Channel 5 at 4 o'clock. Oprah celebrates her birthday with some viewers. Some special guests also drop by to help Oprah blow out the candles. And coming up on News Channel 5 at 6, it's a story of survival. We'll tell you how a 12-ounce baby beat the odds and is now thriving. That's later today on News Channel 5.
The Big Pink is up for sale. What? You say you're not familiar with it. Well, some 30 years ago, in the basement of this pink house near Woodstock, New York, rock and roll history was made. You see, singer-songwriter Bob Dylan and his band came together here in the summer of 1967 to work on songs that wound up on the band's debut album. The owners are asking $150,000 for the rock and roll landmark. Such a deal.
Amazing what a memory is worth.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be worth on the market here in Cleveland.
Not a bad day coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow, much better than today. I mean, we have those flurries out there and the cool temperatures, wind chills in the teens, but that's today. This weekend, sunshine returns, 40-degree weather returns by Sunday.
I think a lot of people were saying, you know, we'd like a little snow for Christmas, but then we'd like this thing to smooth out and be in the 40s, and it has.
Yes, all right. Well, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us for this edition of News Channel 5 at noon.
And we'll see you later today on Live on 5. Hope you'll join us. Have a great day.
The Money Store will now lend you more than the market value of your home with one low first mortgage rate. At other lenders, you can end up having two loans, a first mortgage and a high-rate second. But with the Money Store's no equity refi loan, you have just one loan at their low first mortgage rate to cut expenses, pay off credit cards, even get some extra cash. So call 1-800-LOAN-YES now and ask for the no equity refi loan, only at the Money Store.
Accuracy. It's why you've made us Ohio's most watched weather team. Now, we're doing even more for you. See it before it hits. Tower Cam 5. Track its approach. Storm Track 5. And now, Instant 5 weather. Live pinpoint weather conditions anywhere, everywhere. Weather changes. Technology changes. We're ready for both. Don Webster and Ohio's most watched weather team. Only on News Channel 5.
You'll have a jumpin' good time and loads of fun. Yes! Every time you watch the #1 game show on television. Win great prizes and big money. Catch the next Wheel of Fortune.
Tonight at 7 on News Channel 5.
A jealous argument ends a friendship forever. Katie Seagal.
I know my daughter.
Violation of trust.
Late Night Friday on News Channel 5.